Is it true or real? Has two answers, yes and no. It is true if you believe it is true. It is not true if you believe it isn't true. The glass is both half full and half empty, depending on how you look at it. There are literally billions of thoughts we can choose to think. Hey, 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 it's your girl Ebony. We back at it with chapter number 4, titled, Is It True? Let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm going to start y'all off with a quote. I'm going to go ahead and share 4 points in this chapter, and we're going to end it with a poem, okay? So the quote is, truth is the unchangeable part of me. So point number 1 is examine your thoughts. So whatever we believe become true for us. If you have a sudden financial disaster, then on some level, you have believed that you are unworthy. So all of our thoughts manifest into what happens. So if you're telling yourself, I just can't win, 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 nothing ever works out for me, nothing ever works out for me, nothing ever, if this is spells that you're putting over your life. So if you seem unable to attract a relationship, you may, in one way or another, believe, I am not lovable. I am not lovable. I am unlovable. I am unlovable. Nobody loves me. If you tell yourself that over and over again, people just hurt me. People just hurt me. If you're telling yourself in that variation of thought, then you are going to reap that into your life. You're going to see that manifest. Okay. Or you may have a different belief. Perhaps you're not even aware of your beliefs. Some of us, we don't even realize what we're telling ourselves. Okay, we have literally billions of thoughts a day. And 95% of the thoughts are the same thoughts that you had yesterday. So we're brainwashing ourselves depending on what you're intaking. Okay, so some of us don't even know what our beliefs are. Most people really have no clue of what they're thinking. So they just see the outer circumstance and be like, that's the way the cookie crumbles. It takes someone to actually seek this knowledge that's being expressed and explained in this book. And when you seek this knowledge, then you're able to see the connection between the outer experience and the inner thoughts. That way you don't have to be a victim in your life. So for example, if you have a problem and you have a financial disaster, in one way or another, you're telling yourself, I am not worthy of having money. If you don't have no friends, then you're telling yourself in one way or another, nobody loves me. If you have problems at work, you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough. If you are having a problem always pleasing people, then you're telling yourself, I never get my way. We have to pay attention to what we're telling ourselves. We have to pay attention. So if you don't know what your thoughts are, you have to do a mental thought check. What am I thinking right now? What am I thinking right now? What am I thinking right now? And pay attention to what you hear back and take charge of what you're thinking. Okay, because your thoughts are literally creating your problems. So if you don't know what you're thinking, you're definitely in the right place, because that's what this book is going to help us do. It's going to help us get down to the bottom of what we're thinking. What you could do right now is ask yourself, what kind of thoughts am I having that creates this? Whenever there's a problem in your life, take your time, take a step back, do a mental check. What are my thoughts around this problem? What am I thinking to cause this problem in my life? That brings us to point number 2. Point number 2 is it's only a belief that you learned as a child. A lot of us are still living on beliefs that was instilled into us as children. A lot of those beliefs are not working for you anymore. Some of the things that we believe are positive and they're nurturing us, and some of those thoughts are not serving our lives well. It goes both ways. So like, for example, we were all told 1,001 times to look both ways before we cross the street, right? That's a positive, nurturing thought, because we want to make sure we don't get hit by a car. So that's cool. We want to keep that belief. But what about how we were taught and trained, don't talk to strangers? Now, that may be good advice for a little kid, but as an adult, if you continue this belief of don't talk to strangers or don't trust strangers, then that will only create isolation and loneliness in your life, right? So we also have a belief that boys don't cry and girls don't climb trees. And you know what that creates in our life? That it creates men who hide their feelings and women who are afraid to be physical. Some of the beliefs that we were taught as children are not serving us. Our job is to find out what those beliefs are. Get down to the bottom of them and replace them with something that's going to provide nourishment to our tree, nourishment to our life, okay? If you were taught as a child, it's all my fault, then that causes you for every time something happens, whether it's your fault or not, you're saying, I'm sorry. That's not healthy. You cannot create a healthy relationship if you constantly point the finger at yourself and you're not letting people in your life be accountable for the mistakes that they cause. Do you hear me? We have people that be like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Didn't even do nothing. You talking about something, you sorry. No. We got to check. We got to check our beliefs. Okay. So that brings us to bullet point number 3. Bullet point number 3 is basically each moment is a new beginning. Each moment is a new beginning. So yeah, we have bad beliefs. Yeah, some of them are nurturing us. Some of them are good beliefs, but the bad ones, we could change that right now. The point of power is always in this present moment. So if you decide right now, when I have a negative thought, I'm going to replace that, or I'm going to stop it, or I'm going to say out, done. No, I rebuke, I rescind that and replace it with good thoughts. Your thoughts and belief of the past have created this moment and all the moments up to this moment. What you are now chooses to believe and think and say will create the next moment and the next moment and the next month and the next month and the next year and the next year. So all of our thoughts are creating everything in our life is created by the thoughts that we're telling ourselves. That brings us to point number 4. Is it true? Stop for a moment and catch your thought. What are you thinking right now? If it is true that your thoughts shape your life, would you want what you're thinking right now to be true for you? If it's a thought of worry or anger or hurt or revenge or fear, how do you think this thought will come back to you? How would it manifest into your life? It is not always easy to catch your thoughts because they move so swiftly. However, we can begin right now to watch and listen to what we say. If you hear yourself expressing negative words of any sort, stop in mid-sentence. Either rephrase a sentence or just drop it. You could even say to it, out, be gone. No, it's not true anymore. What's most powerful for me is when I do catch myself saying something negative or thinking something negative, I actually rephrase that exact thought or phrase into something that's positive, something that I actually want to create, a flower that I want to see grow into my garden. We shouldn't be creating weeds. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. Think about this for a second. Let's do this exercise, okay? Imagine yourself in line at a cafeteria, at a buffet. Let's be at a buffet, okay? In a luxury hotel where instead of dishes of food, there are dishes of thoughts. You get to choose anything, any thought that you wish. These thoughts will create your future experiences. Now, if you choose thoughts that will create problems and pain, that's rather foolish. It's like choosing food that always makes you ill. We may do this once or twice, but as soon as we learn that this food is upsetting our body, we stay away from it, right? It's the same here with thoughts. Let us stay away from thoughts that create problems in our life. You get to pick your thoughts, just like if you're at a buffet. Why not pick happiness? Let's pick peace. Let's pick love. Let's pick gratitude. Let's pick hope. Our thoughts are very powerful. What are you picking? You're at a buffet. You could pick whatever you want. You could have whatever you want. Okay. So in a book Louise, she speaks about how in school we teach kids, we were taught to remember war dates and how to divide a triangle and just a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, right? She says what she thinks is we should teach our kids how thoughts work. I agree. How the mind works, how to handle finances, how to invest money for financial security, how to be a parent, how to create good relationships, how to create and maintain self-esteem and self-worth. These are topics that we should be teaching our children. These are topics that I teach my children. These are important topics that will build a happy, healthy adult, right? Because our kids don't stay kids forever. We're actually producing adults. Can you imagine what a generation would look like if we actually taught our children these topics along with the curriculum in school? I know we would have a whole bunch of happy, healthy people that would feel good about themselves. We will have people that are comfortably financially and who enrich the economy and invest their money wisely, right? That would just be too amazing. It would be too amazing. I see a world like that. All right, and that brings us to our poem. The poem is, in the infinite of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I no longer choose to believe in old limitations and lack. I now choose to begin to see myself as the universe sees me, perfect, whole, and complete. The truth of me, the truth of my being is that I was created perfect, whole, and complete. I will always be perfect, whole, and complete. I now choose to live my life from this understanding, and I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. All is well in my world. All right. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. If you like this content, please remember to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave me a comment below and tell me, what did you pick up at the buffet? At our buffet of thoughts, what are you picking up? I claim happiness. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, and you enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next video. And if you haven't seen or heard chapter 3, I'll go ahead and leave that in the link below. And I'll also leave chapter 5 in the link below as well. Chapter 5, what we're doing next is called What Do We Do Now? All right. I'll talk to you guys soon, and bye-bye for now.